It's in the books. Out there, Pepsi Center.
It's going to be a good halftime, boy.
It's going to be a great halftime.
Carmelo Anthony's got 15 to lead everybody in Oklahoma City, coming in 4-6, leading 53-51 over the Nuggets. It is the American Express halftime report. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. Let me explain to you the way the show works on a lot of nights. Kenny will call the guys upstairs and say, hey, I want these 3 plays that I want to run to the board and show. Shaq will do the same, and also our guys, Benda and those guys cutting tape, will say, hey, Shaq, you might want to talk about this. Does this interest you? Okay. And rarely do we hear from Charles, who requests anything going into halftime.
Oh,
tonight
he needed
is
this
different
one.
because tonight he made a request.
So we were watching the game, Ernie, me and Kenny in the back, and they put up this picture of America. Put it up. America, this is fake news. To compare them 2 guys on the right to those 2 guys on the left.
Now, who are you calling out on this?
I don't, well, Reggie Miller said, Reggie, I love you, you know, but don't compare these guys, man.
Don't compare Millsap
Come on, man.
to C-Webb.
Come on, man. C-Webb.
I agree with you, Chuck.
No, he took it further. I don't know if you were listening. When he said Sabonis, Nikola was Sabonis.
Reggie.
He said, this is how good Sabonis would have been if he came. I was like, Sabonis was better than when he came over. I was like, wait a minute, man, Reg. Are you just like an altitude is affecting you, man?
Pour it out, altitude in Denver.
Come on, Reg.
Somehow I have a feeling that when we toss back to them to begin the third quarter, Reggie may have something to say back.
He said that this kid was better than Sabonis.
Stop it, Reggie.
Oh, this is how Sabonis
I'm not even sure this kid's better than Sabonis right now.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I think Sabonis come out of retirement, he can be putting up them numbers.
Well, let's go to the American Express teammates. There can be no denying this graphic because this is what happened in the first half for the big 3 of Oklahoma City, with Melo scoring 15, Paul George 9, and Russell Westbrook 6 on just 3 of 11 shooting for Russ. Pictures from the first half, and let's see. Kenny's got what? You got Paul George?
Well, I'm not even going to go to the boy.
Oh,
no, I'm not even going to do the
been
picture.
to
No, I'm not going to do the picture because it's easier to just say it. These 3 guys are having difficulty playing together because none of them are spot shooters. So when they're at their best, they're able to take guys off the dribble one-on-one, play one-on-one, and then when they're at their best, they're able to kick it to someone who's waiting for a shot. Oh, if you had, I could name 20 guys that could play with them, and it would be, they're learning that I have to be a spot shooter. And from Russell Westbrook, from Paul George, Carmelo Anthony is probably the most equipped out of the 3 to possibly do that. But that is the problem, because when they're at their best, they have to make you wait for the ball. That's it. So we don't need
That's a good point.
And it's not going to work. They're going to win some games, but it's not going to work. And there's a couple reasons why.
That's why they're going to get in transition, though.
They do. But the thing is, Ernie, they all do the same thing. They don't do anything else to make a difference. Paul George and Carmelo, they're good players, but they can't say, well, you know what, I'm not going to shoot tonight. I'm going to get more rebounds, more assists, and things like that. And the number one thing is, when I got traded to Phoenix, this guy named Mike Tumamelo, he was a pain-in-the-ass reporter because he was a hater. But he says to me, well, you know, this is Dan and Kevin's team. I said, it was until Chuck got here. I said, now it's Chuck's team. And Russell Westbrook should not be deferring to those guys. Those guys be saying, okay, Russ, you do your thing, and I'll get the crumbs. The best player don't ever take the backseat to anybody. Now, I love me some Dan Marley and Kevin Johnson, but when Chuck went to Arizona, it was Chuck's team.
OKC, by the way,
Love you, KJ, Dan Marley.
OKC runs the most isolation plays in the NBA, and they have the fewest passes made per game in the NBA. You were caught by Denver's energy in the first half.
Yeah, I'm surprised that this team is 6-5. You know, kudos to Mike Malone. You know, he has these guys playing with a lot of energy.
Oh, give me that.
These guys are here. They just play throughout. He could have easily quit on that play right here. Great ball movement. They remind me of the Celtics. They move the ball very, very well, and they play with a lot of energy. Really, really fun to watch. There he is right there, the next Vlade Divac. Great pass right there.
Oh, no, that's
Sabonis with a great pass.
Better than Sabonis.
This team is emerging as a pretty good team, and they're fun to watch. They play with a lot of energy.
It is a 53-51 OKC lead at the break. Back with more on the American Express.
And Murray's a better shooter than Reggie Miller. That's how Reggie Miller looked, y'all. If you've never seen Reggie Miller play, look at
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray. That's how Reggie. Come on, man.
Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report. American Express, the official credit card of the NBA.
5 halftime lead over the Rockets at Toyota Center. It is the American Express halftime report. Ernie Johnson, Shaq, Kenny Charles, and we have a very special co-host tonight, Alec Kabakungan. Thanks for being here, man. It was my pleasure to meet you earlier today. Tell the folks about yourself a little bit, 15-year-old.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been watching you guys forever. I'm 15 years old. I go to Oak Park and Willow Forest High School. I have osteogenesis imperfecta, brittle bones disease. I've broken over 60 bones in my lifetime.
At the age of 15, and a huge sports fan.
Huge sports fan.
And a sportscaster is what you want to be. I really,
he got
I
nice
really
form, too.
enjoy. Yeah, you're playing
Left-handed too. Okay.
Wow,
Very nice. Nice looking Jay, and I really appreciate the bow tie you're sporting here tonight.
Yeah, thanks. I put it on for you. Thank you.
I appreciate.
What about the
that
rest of
very
us?
Yeah, will you do anything for us?
I mean, I was gonna shave my head, but
Kenny, it's crazy. You know how like when we all played in like at places like LA and New York, and like you see a superstar. That's how I felt when I came in the building today. I was like, I know you from somewhere, from the commercial. You do a great job in the
Thank you
commercial.
so much.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
do a great job.
And normally we start the halftime report here with something from our sponsor, American Express. So you go ahead and do that.
All right. It's time for the American Express teammates.
Yes, indeed it is. And we got, what, a couple of Cleveland Cavaliers
Yeah,
here.
LeBron James, 22 points. Jeff Green, 20 points.
Wow.
LeBron James is just doing what he does best, and Jeff Green shocking everybody.
Right, you 8 out of 9 from the floor.
Hey, wait, time out, Alex. You just can't come on taking shots at people.
There you can. I got your back, Alex.
And
I
Jeff
got your
Green,
back,
bro, we're
Alex.
surprised by what he's doing. He'll never do nothing like that.
Hey, Jeff Green's doing his thing. He's doing good.
Okay.
8 out of 9.
So is basketball your favorite sport?
Yeah, of course. Me and my friends, we play basketball on Saturdays, wheelchair basketball, and it's a lot of fun.
I have a good friend, Dave Snowden, plays wheelchair basketball, and actually, he used to come on camp, and we had a shootout, he and I, in a wheelchair, and I lost easily. It's the trajectory of shooting in a wheelchair.
Right.
And I thought, I was still in the NBA, actually, when I did this. And I'm like, I'm the best shooter in the camp, without question. And he outshot me. So shooting in the wheelchair is definitely.
Wheelchair basketball
Oh,
is
my
very
gosh.
difficult. I've done it twice, and I didn't
You
realize.
done it as well?
But I didn't realize they had rules. I thought you could wheel the whole time. You can only.
No,
Find that amusing.
You guys dribble.
You have to dribble. I know you have to dribble.
Push, dribble, push.
I didn't know that.
Why don't
So
you
just
get it
don't run
over
around
here
no rules?
to the big fella here?
Yeah, let's talk some basketball, yeah. Shaq, what's up with Cleveland's bad defense?
Well, I talked about, the Cleveland Cavs not having that defensive intensity. I've been watching the game. It picked up, but, I think the way to play the Rockets is you have to protect the paint, and then when they pass it back out to their three shooters, you got to get back out. Right here, they worry about the three shooters. No one can guard James Harden one-on-one. And right here, LeBron comes out nonchalantly. You didn't plant your feet. You let the guy go out on baseline. And, he's going to do what he do. He kicks it out to the three. Now, right here, you got to rotate out, Kenny. You got to rotate out to the shooter, make him put on the three and get a two. Right here, LeBron, Harden just goes around, easy pass. So they still don't have that defense intensity for them to be the Cleveland Cavs that we're used to watching.
Well, the good thing about it, though, they're playing the Rockets. You don't play in the defense either. I mean, you got an 18-point lead, and you just give it up that quickly. That's why they're not a serious contender. They are built for the regular season.
But you said they're going to win 60 games.
They're going to win 60 games because there's some trash. There's a lot of trash out there in the NBA.
Yeah, well, I agree. I think the hardest thing about guarding the Rockets is the fact that you have to guard the three-point line, but James Harden, he gets a steady diet of drives to the rim, and so you get caught in the middle. But if you're Cleveland, you can't be fooled into this either, Alec, because I'm not sure if they can score 130 points, Cleveland.
They can't.
So if you're playing at his pace for 130 points, I don't know if you can do that and actually win.
But the problem you got, Kenny, the Rockets are only 8 for 23 from three-point land. So, and then on the other end, you let LeBron go 10 for 13. You let Jeff Green go 8 for 9. So that's the thing about
Alex saw that coming, though.
What now?
Alex saw that coming, the 8 for 9.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just interesting about the Rockets. Like they got a good team, but they're not a legit contender.
We got a couple of tweets here, Alec. Let's see what they've come up with from the control room. LeBron out here carrying the Cavs, like Charles carries 2 Twinkies in his pocket at all times. Does that amuse you?
Well, listen, enlighten one. If your mama could cook, I wouldn't have to eat Twinkies.
You know, we take the shot.
That might have been the best one, Chuck.
Yeah, you like this one?
Yeah, highest kid full of time. I like it.
I like it too, Alec. I like it.
That was the best one, Chuck. That was the best one ever. If your mama can cook.
We'll be back with more, will you?
Yeah, we'll be back with more.
No question.
If your mama can cook.
Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report. American Express, the official credit card of the NBA.
Every day, on every street, in every town.